Okay, welcome to today's Team Clueless Battle Report. We're up in Nick's loft and we have rolled up for our game. It's an 1850 point game. It's a strange point size, but basically I wanted to take an extra unit, so convince Nick to up the points slightly. We're playing Vanguard Strike today. We've already rolled for table halves and things like that, so I'm setting up over here and Nick is setting up over there. We rolled on the table for mission, and to start we rolled up Scouring, but I played that last week, so I asked if we could change it. And then we rolled up the Emperor's Will, but we decided to do what we did a couple of videos back, and we're playing the Emperor's Will and the Relic at the same time, because we just think it makes for a more interesting game with the 3 objectives on the table, and both of those missions on their own just aren't that interesting. So the Relic is in the centre of the table there, and I have placed my objective back there. You can see the little pylon-y thing. And where's yours, Nick? Yours
Mine is on the second level in that building there.
Nick's is hidden in the building there. Let's see what armies we're bringing. Okay, so I'm bringing my demons for their second outing under the new codex today. I've swapped a load of stuff around and I've gone for a less hoardy army, so I've got less troops unfortunately, but I tried to put in a few more units so I've got a bit more punch, because I really felt that in our last game against the Tyranids I just couldn't hurt any of the opposing units. So, to change up today I have a Bloodthirster. He's got 2 greater and 1 lesser gift. He didn't roll brilliantly, but he got okay. He got Cleaving Strike, which lets him double his strength when he hits and rolls a 6. He's got a Blade of Blood, which gives him an extra D3 attacks if he's outnumbered in combat, and it's an additional weapon, so it gives him an extra 1 attack. I mean, he's going to have lots of attacks in combat.
Possible 11 attacks.
Possible 11 attacks. And he also got a Hellfire Gaze. One of the things I like about the demonic gifts is you get to roll obviously each game, but you get to see what your opponent's playing first. So I've taken my Hellfire Gaze, which is an anti-vehicle shot, because he's got BS10 and Nick's got a couple of Dakar jets, so if I'm flying up in the air and so are those Dakar jets, I should be able to shoot them down with relative ease.
I'm glad you missed the 3 battle wagons though.
Yeah, the 3 battle wagons there. So what else have I got in my army? For an extra bit of punch, I've also bought 2 Soul Grinders. They're armed exactly the same as each other. Each of them has the Phlegm, which is a large blast strength 8 shot, and each of them is a follower of Nurgle. This one looks like he's a follower of Nurgle. This one's turned a bit purple. He's obviously holding his breath. That gives them Shrouded, which means with quite a lot of ruins we've got on the table over there, I should be getting a pretty decent cover save. I've taken the unit of 10 Fleshhounds again. They've went red this morning, but this time to give them a bit more punch I'm leading them with a Herald of Khorne. He's on a Juggernaut and he has taken a lesser and greater gift, and he's taken an Aether Blade, which gives him a bit of AP too, and he's got Touch of Uncreation, which gives him Armour Bane and Flesh Bane, meaning he should be able to punch to death most things he meets in combat. I've still got the unit of 9 Screamers, much worse than they were last edition, but still really good. I just love the slashing attacks. You just drop down and you can put pain wherever you want it. Unit of 20 Demonettes again, because I felt they worked quite well in the first game. They've forgone the Banner and Musician this time, because I'm going to start them on the table, and they don't have the Herald leading them, but they do have a Champion in the unit, and she has taken a lesser gift, which has given her the Strength 5 AP 5 Breath attack, which should be quite useful versus Orcs. Speaking of template weapons, I have 3 Flamers of Tzitzit there. You can get a front on view. They're the really old models. Again, nowhere near as good as last edition, but they still put down a template, and they've got 2 wounds and they're jump infantry, so they're still not bad for their points, just not as broken as they were. For the rest of my troops, I have got a unit of 11 Pink Horrors. Again, didn't particularly like them last game, but I'm giving them another try because I really need to put some shooting in the army, and because Paul last week with his Tyranids had so many Psychers, I was just failing to hurt them due to the Deny the Witch roll, but hopefully it will go better today. I've also taken 2 Tzitzit Heralds, but instead of giving them both multiple extra shots, they've both gone for Prescience, and both of them can now let me re-roll to hit rolls. The little purple dude there, he's going to be sticking with the unit more. He has taken the Grimoire of True Names, because it seems too good not to take. And he's also a level 2 Psyker, and he has the Flickering Fire of Tzitzit power, so he can put out a few more extra shots. And he has the extra boon that lets the unit fire at +1 strength with all of its shooting attacks. While I remember, the Herald over here also has the bonus that gives him and his unit +2 attacks on the charge instead of the usual +1. Forgot about that. What else we've got? This other Herald here, who is just a level 1 with Prescience, he has got the Portaglyph to try and spawn a few units, as my base army is quite low on scoring units at the moment. Speaking of scoring units, we rolled up our Warlord traits, and my Bloodthirster is a scoring unit. That seems quite useful. Lastly but not leastly, well, probably leastly, is the Plague Bearers. I've only got 10 this time. The models may look like they have an icon and musician, but they're just pretend. They have no upgrades at all. They're going to be camping on an objective, I suspect. Okay, so that's my 1850 point demon army. Let's see what evil stuff Nick has bought.
Right, I've decided to give my orcs an outing because obviously in the previous two videos the demons had a bad game and my Tau had a bad game, though I haven't played them for a while. So I've got a few things I want to try out as well for our future big Easter battle.
Yeah, it's traditional. We're going to have a big Easter battle.
So this is kind of a weird orc army. We are still led by Gazzy. And
shock!
And 5 mega knobs. That's a big shock. In, let's see, it's a battle wagon with a death roller and it has a cannon.
Oh, I'm really shocked.
What, that it's got a cannon rather than big shoots?
Yeah, it's a slight change to your normal approach.
It is a slight change. And obviously, the unit I used to use in 5th edition, I haven't really used them now. Oh, I know bikers, they're back. I still have them. I've still got them all armed differently, just for different variations. We've still got a power claw, a big chopper, a pain boy, and a warg banner. Still got to have a good old warg in
Gives
there.
you an excuse to shout.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then here's another normal unit that I'd normally take. 20 orc boys, knob with power claw and boss pole. Couldn't afford the heavy armour for them though, so still only got normal save.
Are they shooters or slugger choppers?
They are shooters. I
boys.
don't have enough shooters painted to have enough shooters. So they are also in a battle wagon with a death roller, and that one has also got a cannon.
Weird.
Exactly. Right, some new units to take. We're taking some death copters. They've all got the custom mega blaster, so they've got the strength 8 AP2. Obviously gets hot though. We're also trying out some tank busters. We've got a unit of 10 tank busters, and they're in a battle wagon with a death roller. Though this one does only have a big shooter. We've got 2 Dakka jets, both with the extra gun. So hopefully both come on at the same time. Call a warg.
Puree some demons.
Well, I'm hoping to try.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I'm looking over at the Bloodthirster, and I don't think that would happen, but we can try.
Bloodthirster hides.
I think what the Bloodthirster is most scared of is the unit of Gretchen.
Read my mind.
The 40 points come on and try and hold an objective, though if that Bloodthirster comes over, I don't hold out much hope for him. And the other experimental unit is I'm taking a big mech, but rather than his custom force field, I've gone for his big shock attack gun this time. So let's say a couple of experimental units in this army to try out for see what they're like in the big points. But as I say, I'm very low on scoring units this time.
How many have you actually got?
I've got 3.
Oh, the Gretchen, yeah.
The Gretchen, the Mega Knobs, and the Orc.
Mega Knobs are pretty tough.
AP2 though, Curly.
Yeah, my first can kill them, but
Right, let's see how the turns go.
It's going to be interesting.
There we go. Right, we have deployed now. As I say, the demons are over here. One soul grinder hiding behind this tower that got warped in from the world of fantasy.
It's not hiding, he is tactically placed.
Hiding. With a Bloodthirster hiding behind a soul grinder.
See previous statement.
Demonettes there out in the open, they're not hiding. That's hiding. And we've also got Plague Bearers, another Soul Grinder, Pink Horrors, and that over there. So he's obviously, the demons are well bunkered in that corner. We have got out over here, obviously the corn of hounds and the other big guy on his warhound thing. Off the board for deep striking, we have the screamers and the flamers. So that was all your deployment there, wasn't it?
That is all my deployment. I've got Pink Horrors and Plague Bearers here
all
here
over
with
there.
both the heralds.
And then the orcs have set up a line, basically, of battle wagons. We've got one there with the Mega Knobs in, tank busters, and the orc boys. We've then got the death copters and the bikes, and the big mechs up there with a nice big view. Obviously off the board we've got the 2 Dakka jets and the Gretchen. Let's see how this goes, because as I say, I've taken the Orcs as a different sort of army to play against for the Demons rather than Tyrannid, so it's a different style, just to see how they fare this way.
I fear I might get squashed under the rollers of death.
Yes, well, let turn one commence.
Did you want to seize the initiative, Nick?
Oh, no, I don't wish to seize it.
I didn't think you did.
We are doing night fighting for turn one, which is why I did win the roll, but I chose to go second because I want to go up close, and getting close during night fighting is not a good idea. So let's see how. Not a lot is going to happen in turn one, I don't think.
Okay, Demon turn 1. Not the most interesting of turns due to the night fighting and the Demon's very short-ranged firepower, and not a lot of it at that. So the only model in my army actually took a shot was the Soul Grinder over here. He shot at the battle wagon there, but Nick's cover save due to this intervening forest was a 3+, so he made both his saves. The Demonettes sprinted out wide and have gone into the building with their excellent sprinty run move. The Bloodthirster relocated from over here because Ghazghkull is in that battle wagon, and the only thing the Bloodthirster fears is Ghazghkull. So the Bloodthirster has shot all the way across the table over to here and is cowering behind a wall.
I'm glad you said cowering.
He's got his Flesh Hounds and his Herald bodyguard behind him, and they're going to obviously attack this flank, it seems. Over here, one of my Pink Horror Heralds, or Tzitzit Heralds as it were, threw out his portaglyph towards the corner of the table. It scattered this way a bit because of the intervening models, was placed there. I then rolled a 4+, and 5 new Pink Horrors managed to spawn out of it, giving me an extra shooter unit, which is kind of what I planned for. The rest of the stuff over here is just basically staying put on the objective for now, not wanting to move out into the killing field of all those battle wagons. Let's see what Nick can accomplish in his first turn.
Right, this is the end of the Orcs' turn 1. We had a bit more of an interesting turn than the Demons. What's happened basically is the battle wagons that was here, the Meganob one has moved up with Demonettes and Soul Grinder in sight. The Tank Buster one come up here. They were within 24 inches of the Soul Grinder, so I had to shoot at him. They hit once. They penned once, and only rolled a 2, so he ignores the results, but he's taken a whole point too. Curly was quite worried that he might be destroyed. Get first blood, but no, he's lost 1 whole point and down to 3.
Yeah, our 2 not very shooty armies. First blood has not been taken, shockingly.
We're night fighting as well, which is
the night fighting didn't help.
Right, this battle wagon just moved up. We released the boys in a big round arc thing. We tried running, but we didn't quite make it. We got rolled a 4, but as I say, you can just short of the relic. So we was going to try and get that and possibly get back in the vehicle and run away. The Deathcopters and the bikes come up. Deathcopters, they're fired at the hounds, and we did a wound to the hound.
Yeah, with the night fighting and the wall in the way, I had quite a good cover save.
Yeah, and the bikers, we did a risk. We didn't shoot with them. We attempted to assault. We needed 11. I rolled 5, but it was a...
Nick was assuming he was going to be really lucky, I think.
It was worth a try. It's either I did get lucky and charged in, or I fear I'm going to be charged this turn.
Well, I've got lots of choices though on my turn. I've got the Orcs, the Copters, and the...
but
there.
shall we get to the big mech and his shot though?
Evil
who
big
is last boss? The hounds made their save on their hit, but what's that? The Bloodthirster has taken a wound!
Damn him!
He failed his save and he got +2.
He was pretty accurate, actually.
Yes, both my template shots actually rolled the hit, so yes, 1 wound down on the Bloodthirster. It seems easy enough to kill him, I reckon.
Yeah, better first turn for the Orcs.
Yeah, it was indeed. Let's see how turn 2 goes.
Okay, Demons turn 2. We got down to a bit of fisticuffs this round. So first of all, we opened fire. No, first of all we moved. So my Flesh Hounds moved over there. The Bloodthirster moved up to engage the Orc squad in the centre, and the Soul Grinder shuffled to put a big tower in between him and those Tank Busters in that wagon. Over here, the Demonettes rushed out of their building and moved forward to engage the battle wagon, or the Meganobs if I managed to pop it. As you can see, the battle wagon is on its side. I did manage to pop it. I've got a couple of Pink Horrors up here in their larger pink horror squad. The Herald cast Prescience on the pink horrors, and then he and the pink horrors all opened fire at the side arc of the battle wagon. It didn't get a cover save, and I managed to get 3 glancing hits on it, which, going with the whole point it had taken last turn, caused it to wreck, piling out the Meganobs at the side.
It took the whole point this turn from the Soul Grinder.
Oh, the Soul Grinder. Oh, yes, I
No.
Prescient. No, this Soul Grinder I also Prescienced, and he fired over at this battle wagon, and I've managed to do a crew shaken to it, so it can't move and nothing can fire next turn, which is a good result there for me. So yes, the Meganobs piled out of this battle wagon, and the Demonettes, being super fast, were happily in range to charge, so they all charged in. Now, Nick and I both thought, this is just going to hold up the Meganobs for a couple of turns, but then I rolled 60 attacks with my Demonettes, and I managed to kill 4 of the Meganobs, which was pretty brutal.
Yeah, 7 rending hits. And,
yeah, 7 rending, and you failed 1 other save.
Yeah,
didn't you?
from I think 6 other hits. So
it was pretty brutal. I mean, I'm hitting on 3 pluses, so it's a lot of hits.
Then we worked out the average was 6 for rending.
Yeah. So Nick then called his special Gazgul War to make his unit fearless, else they'd be running off the board, really, because they only killed 3 in return. Nick rolled pretty poorly for Gazgul, and the remaining Meganobs only killed 3 of the Demonettes back, so that combat went really well for me. Over here, the Orc Warbikers got charged by all of these Fleshhounds, with the champion there, or the Herald there, giving them +2 attacks on the charge. Again, this was another bucket o' dice occasion. I rolled 40 dice here, and just managed to kill all of them, didn't I? I killed your Pain Boy in a challenge with my Herald, and that removed the Feel No Pain from the rest of the unit, and then the Fleshhounds just did enough wounds to kill them before striking back.
I did 1 wound on the Overwatch. That was
yes, 1 wound on the Overwatch. You rolled loads of hits, but then you failed to wound.
Yes.
So that was 2 combats, went really well for me. Unfortunately...
you forgot about the Screamers.
Oh, yeah.
Let's leave the best till last.
The Screamers came down from reserve, landed here with pinpoint accuracy, as they always seem to, and then leapt over the... what are they called? Deathcopters. I did quite a load of wounds to them, and Nick failed more or less all his saves, and I managed to kill the squad, so that was first blood to me, which was very handy. The old big mech in that tower is looking quite scared. So then we get to the assault phase over here. The Bloodthirster decided, because Nick's got his 2 Dakka Jets coming on next turn, the Bloodthirster really didn't want to be stuck out in the open, so he found the biggest squad he could and charged on in. Now, he's already lost the wound because he failed his armour save versus his cover save versus the shock attack gun last turn, so I charged into the 20 mob of Orcs. They opened fire with their Overwatch and hit him loads of times, and then managed to do 2 wounds to him, so I picked up my 2 3+ saves and failed both of them, so he's now on 2 wounds. And he's just got to combat, looking really bad for him. He accepted a challenge with the Knob in combat and managed to squish him to death. So he's still locked in combat with all of those boys. This combat could go on very long, but I suspect they may well be able to bring down the Bloodthirster with weight of numbers. Okay, let's see what happens on Nick's next turn.
Right, this is the Orcs' turn 2, but just to start off what got missed out last turn, we forgot to roll for the portal. But Curly rolled and he gained a pink horror.
A pink horror is as good at shooting as 10 pink horrors, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, right, so this turn, the Orcs, we had 1 Dakka Jet come on and the Gretchen came on. We preferred the Gretchen not to come on, but anyway, over here is where we are foobarred a little bit with our own objective, I'd say. So
It has turned into a bit of a shitstorm, hasn't it?
Yes. The battle wagon decided to turn around and use its death roller on the Screamers. We rolled a 2 and I did 2 hits. Cuddy did at one point
failed to wound once though. So.
Yes, I only did 1 wound and it did kill 1. Curly was contemplating actually hitting the front of the battle wagon, which I think.
Then I worked out the odds.
I think he should have done actually. Obviously, the Fleshhounds, they were going to be a bit of a pain, so the Dakka Jet came flying on the corner here, and failed miserably with its rolling to hit. And I killed the 2 hounds that were on 1 wound each because I only did 2 wounds.
Yes.
In total. So unfortunately, that unit is still quite deadly. The Gretchen. You're not going to believe when I tell you this. They came on and they shot at the Screamers. 5 of them were in range. We caused the wound on a Screamer with the Gretchen.
Oh, it was epic.
That's it. Fear the Gretchen. Gretchen are going to win this game. You wait and see.
Quite possibly they're a troop choice.
Right. Over here, the Bloodthirster. We went to the assault phase and decided to do this one first. More interesting. Bloodthirster swung in and killed 6 orc boys.
Bloodthirster is so deadly versus mobs now.
Yeah.
With his extra axe giving him extra hits.
That was ridiculous. So then there was 10 orcs left that swung an attack. We did 10 wounds to.
No, you needed 5s to hit.
10 hits on him.
Needing 5s.
Needing 5s, and then needing 6 to wounds.
That's
Unfortunately, we only got 1, and he failed a save again.
I've made 4 saves so far with him and haven't passed a single one.
He's on 1 wound left.
It's looking bad.
Go orcs. And then obviously this battle wagon couldn't do anything, and the guys inside couldn't snap fire or anything. So that's basically just sat there for the turn. Over to Gazzy. Wait, where are the demonettes?
Yeah, this isn't a nice story.
Right, we went into this close combat. The demonettes went first. They caused
6 wounds, didn't it? 6 rending wounds.
6 rending wounds. All went on Gazzy with his invulnerable save and didn't take a wound.
Yeah, that 2+ is pretty deadly.
And then they killed.
They only killed 2 demonettes.
Yeah, they killed 2 back.
Really bad rolling on your half.
Because of failing combat.
Demonic instability is the word you're looking for.
That is the word. And what's that? Double 6.
Yes.
Oh!
When you roll demonic instability, if you don't know the rule, it's kind of like the old Fearless. You have to roll a leadership test and you lose the difference. So he'd beaten me by 2. I had leadership 7, so I had leadership 5 to roll against. Any over 5 I roll, I would lose wounds. But I rolled a double 6, meaning I just removed the entire unit. So 15 demonettes were removed by that roll. Yeah. It was bad.
Not bad for that 2 models.
Yeah, it really ruined my battle plan in that corner of the board.
Although, if it was a double 1, he would have had those two models that I killed back.
All those models back. So.
But, and we did consolidate. It doesn't look like it because we only rolled a 1.
Yes.
But look at that Soul Grinder, just there.
Soul Grinder will be sticking on its reversing lights and going beep, beep, beep as it walks backwards.
Oh, we'll catch him. See how turn 3 goes.
Okay, it's Orky turn 3. It was a pretty good turn for me. We started up, we spread out over here a bit. I mean, last turn with the demonettes all going poof, which was pretty poor. Gazzy is now a threat. I've got nothing over here that can beat his armour other than a Soul Grinder in close combat, and that's not a fight I particularly want. So I moved my pink horrors sideways over here, so 1 member from each unit could get line of sight over there to him. That's one of the good things about the pink horrors. They may not all be able to fire now because they cast psychic power, but you cast it out of a single model, so you can like string single models outside of cover while the rest of them are reasonably safe, because this thing you can't see through the bottom level, so he can't kill these units of his shooting. So the 2 of them moved sideways and opened up into Gazgal. I think I must have done him maybe 10 wounds total.
Someone around about that.
But unfortunately he took them all on Gazgal and made all of his 2+ saves. So the Soul Grinder fired, he hit the pair of them head on with his phlegm and hit twice with his other gun. Again, Nick made all his saves though, which is a bit annoying, so Gazzy is still unmolested over there.
Your Soul Grinder, you've actually remembered about your book, so he's got the
yes.
2
I completely forgot the first 2 turns that I'd taken a Grimoire of True Names, which could have helped keep my Bloodthirster alive, but wouldn't have done with my rolling. So I used it this turn and cast it on the Soul Grinder, as he's the only thing that looks to be in range of Gazzy assaulting. So he's got a 3+ save now, because I made the roll. So if Gazzy charges in, I've got a Storm Shield effectively on my Giant Walker. The portal over here, which has been spewing forth pink horrors each turn, failed to spew any this turn. The Plague Bearers are moving up, eyeing the Relic in the centre of the board, but due to being slow and purposeful, they're not getting there anytime soon. I'd intended for my Bloodthirster to get there, but he's only on 1 wound still, so... this squad, which can run, ran 1 inch, so they're struggling to make it there as well. We'll have to see if we can get to it. This Soul Grinder shuffled sideways and used his Skyfire gun. Most excellent. Firing at the Dakka Jet up here. Nick jinked from my 3 hits because I'd prescienced my Soul Grinder. So Nick jinked, made 2 of his saves out of my 3 penetrating hits I got. I've been rolling pretty well so far this game. But I managed to get a 3 on my damage result, meaning it has to move 18 inches straight forward this turn. So it's going to basically put it here, which isn't the best place to be for a Dakka Jet.
And I have to say, you've been rolling well, but some of the rolls which I've had to make, they've suddenly been very bad.
Yeah, I've definitely had the luck this game.
Yeah.
So over here, you'll remember there are some battle wagons and stuff here. So there was 1 battle wagon there. My Screamers moved sideways and surrounded it and used their warp jaws to tear it apart in close combat. Because it couldn't move last turn, it was easy prey.
Yeah.
So it blew up, did 2 wounds to my Screamers, killing a Screamer, and killed 3 of the boys inside. side, but I couldn't quite get a ring around them, so they managed to deploy, and they made both their pinning and their leadership check, so they're good to go for next round.
Yep.
The Flesh Hounds, seeing the Bloodthirster in trouble versus the 10 remaining Orc boys, charged in to beat up the Orc boys before they could swing at poor Bloodthirster.
May I say, they needed it because the Bloodthirster had 9 attacks and only killed 3 Orc boys.
Yes, he didn't roll well.
He rolled badly. So if they weren't there, I think he may have been finished.
But he has been rescued. Probably going to get shot by Nick's second Dackerjet if it comes on this turn. Luckily, because there was this other Death Roller here, I'm petrified of the Death Rollers because I've got really poor saves. The Death Rollers doing Strength 10 hits on me with normal saves apply are just really good versus me. So luckily Nick said, oh, you're not going to deal with that. And then I remembered I could split off my Herald. So my Herald left the Flesh Hounds and came over here. Because he had rolled his gift earlier on and he had got the thing that gives him Armour Bane, so he charged in there with his 6 attacks and just mulched that battle wagon quite easily, blew it up. So that was excellent. The 3 Flamers came on from reserve and rolled really quite badly. They scattered 9 inches but were just in at the table edge over here, and they managed to flame a 3 Gretchen. Nick failed his leadership check, so his runt herd set about killing some more Gretchens using his squig hound.
I killed another 3 actually.
Yeah, so Nick killed as many Gretchens as I did, but he made his second leadership check, so they're still in the game. Nick is running low on scoring units. I'm really enjoying my Portaglyph this turn, which is giving me more units.
Yeah.
So that's the state of play at the end of my turn. Demonic Instability actually did something this turn. Not stability, the Demonic Random Table. We haven't mentioned it as yet, because the first turn I rolled the Tazich's hits units, and I don't think I hit any units. Certainly didn't do any wounds.
No, the first time was hitting corn units.
Oh, hitting corn units did nothing.
And the only one of mine you hit was a battle wagon, but
yeah,
it didn't do
nothing. Second turn we got the 7 result, which did nothing, and this turn we rolled the Nurgle hit stuff, so it hits Tazich units, which I've got quite a few of because I've been spawning them with the Portaglyph down here. But all it actually did, it hit my unit down here and killed 1 pink horror of the 5 that had been spawned on my turn 1. It didn't hit any of Nick's units, so not that effective. Let's see what happens on the next turn.
Right, this is the end of the Orcs turn 3. Unfortunately, our Dackerjet did not come in, which we wanted.
You say we wanted, I didn't want it to come
on. Sorry, I did. Well, the big mech opened fire and hit the Bloodthirster. Would you believe it? A 5-up invulnerable save. He makes.
Yep, he did me a wound, but...
Yes, I did the wounds. I could have killed him. He made a save. First one of the day.
Yep, and he did it as well.
That was annoying. I would have liked to have had him killed, get the Warlord killed, and it would have been one less problem to worry about. With the Tank Busters and Gazzy and that, obviously, we decided to... Because we know we're going to be out of range of a lot of stuff over here, we decided to work our way back. And both the Tank Busters and Gazzy went into the Screamer unit that was here. The Tank Busters basically went in to soak up a lot of the hits, so Gazzy and the Meganop wouldn't actually get hit. And they lost 4 of their number. And they dealt... Did they deal? You
killed 4 back.
Yes,
with the combined squad.
Yeah, they killed a load, and obviously Gazzy and the Meganop killed quite a lot. And then the Demonic Institution killed the remaining
Instability.
Not an
institution.
Sorry, that killed the remaining 2 that were there.
Damn instability is proving a pain in this game.
So they both consolidated 6 inches. So the Tank Busters have gone in front of the Flesh Hounds, leaving Gazzy and that running away. Hopefully, so they will be out of range of a lot of that. It's just the Bloodthirster. Gazzy can take him. And yes, believe me when I say this, the Gretchen that were there charged.
Charged the unit of flamers.
They charged the unit of flamers.
It was an interesting tactical decision.
Because if they'd stayed there, they did have their shots to start with, and they dealt. There has been a wound dealt to them.
They have killed. Well, wounded a flamer.
They would have died anyway to the flamers and stuff. So I charged them in. The flamers killed the remaining Gretchen on the way in. The runt herd got in but died before he got any attacks.
Yeah, I think you were hoping to lock them for a round, weren't you?
I was basically just trying to lock them.
I rolled quite well on the flamer hits when you came in.
Yes, that's basically the idea for them. I knew the Gretchen wouldn't survive, so yeah. So it's been actually quite interesting. I am down to a Meganob as a scoring unit.
I should be trying to kill him.
Yes, if he dies, I believe that will probably just be it for the game.
Over.
So let's see what happens in turn 4.
Okay, it is demon turn 4. So I remembered to do stuff at the start of my turn. I used my I tried to use my portaglyph, didn't do anything, but it did spew the first 2 turns, so I'm really pleased with it overall. I used my Grimoire of True Names to increase my Fleshhound's save to a 3+. You know, get one of those dudes back that we just killed, Nick. Forgot about that. So I needed to concentrate. Nick only had 1 Mega Nob left, and that was his last scoring unit. Because Nick's wife is happily making us dinner at the moment, we need to finish the game reasonably quickly. So we agreed that if I killed that, Nick had no scoring units left, and that would mean I'd won the game because he couldn't take this objective from me.
There's too many troop choices over
there. There is, yeah. So I fired loads of stuff at it. I fired 2 pink horror squads down here, the Soul Grinder over there, but failed to kill it. So I charged in with my Fleshhound unit, who had been rejoined by their champion, the Herald there. I charged in, the Herald wiped out all of the tank busters because I charged in there, and then the Fleshhounds managed to kill the
just because I only found 2 out of about
2 saves,
7 or 8 saves I had to make.
So I managed to kill him quite successfully. So that's his game over, really. I mean, I'm over there, I'm in combat with the shock attack gun, but neither of those units are scoring, so that objective over there is a wash.
We haven't rolled that combat, so...
No. This objective in the centre, I'm slowly running through here, really, really slowly, but again, because Nick has no scoring choices, and chances are I'll probably get there, so I could possibly score the middle one. Yeah. Nick's Dakka Jet didn't come in.
The only thing I could have on, my Dakka Jet would come on, and...
Yeah.
At the moment, I was going to bring it on and start shooting your units to try.
That's it, because I'm in cover. I don't think there's any way you can get me off of there being fearless.
But as I say, I'll be sort of possibly shooting the front ones and moving them back a bit. So
this dude here brought down the Dakka Jet, really liking the Skyfire.
One hit, missed the.
But we fought as the game is over, but for a little bit of fun, the Bloodthirster managed to charge in on Ghazghkull's unit over here. So we thought we'd fight the challenge on camera. Now the state of play is, Ghazghkull has not taken any wounds this game due to Nick's abnormal rolling of 2+. So my Bloodthirster is charged in, and I have 8 attacks on the charge. Nick has 5 attacks back. I'm on 1 wound, he's on 4 wounds. Let's see what happens. So I've got initiative on him, being initiative 9, and weapon skill 10 gives me a 3+ to hit. So, what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. So I need to wound every one of these, and Nick needs to fail all of his saves for me to kill Ghazghkull. Well, I have failed to wound with one of them, because I've got Furious Charge giving me strength 7. So 4 saves, Nick's got 5 pluses here. Oh dear, Ghazghkull has only taken 2 wounds.
Right.
Let's see if he can kill the Bloodthirster for a bit of karma at the end of the game for him. Okay, you're looking for 4s to hit, Nick. You have hit twice. Your strength 10, so 2s to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. Okay, my Bloodthirster has a 5-up save.
He's dead!
Bloodthirster is dead. Okay,
sooner.
Let's have a little quick discussion about the game, shall we, Nick? Because the game is now over, because basically I've got this objective and Nick can't take it back, as I've said before.
Yeah. So the game actually ends 4-1, because you got First Blood and the objective.
And I failed to get Warlord.
I've got Line Breaker as well.
Line Breaker, yeah.
So 5-1 it ends.
5-1.
So,
it was an interesting game, wasn't it? My Demon Army, I'll go to my Demon Army first before Nick comments on his Orcs. The Demon Army, much different this time. I took more threatening units, I also took faster units. I mean, how good were those Fleshhounds this game, Nick? They just charged and killed stuff.
That entire unit, we worked it out earlier, 300 points.
Yeah.
Got double, or pretty much all.
It was brilliant. The Herald in there gives them so much punch with his extra 2 attacks on the charge, and the Herald on his own, he's AP 6 attacks, strength 6
I didn't realise to start with that the Fleshhounds actually had 2 wounds. I thought they were 1 wound, so I thought you could probably get through them as like a guard shield and get to the Herald.
Yeah. 16 points a model, they're a bargain. I'd like more, but unfortunately I'm using the old metal models and I'd want a matching unit, because I don't like the new metal models. Other things, the Screamers I really liked.
Screamers are still good, because obviously this is the first time I've seen New Demons. Screamers are still good, they're turbo boosting over and taking out things. Obviously you've got to be selective as to what you do with them, take them in.
Yeah, that's it, because they can't beat stuff up like they used to.
No, you can't just charge them into the enemy area and think, oh, they'll survive, it's fine.
Yeah, you charge your Mega Knobs in the previous Codex rules, or the White Dwarf rules, they would have gone through Ghazi and the Mega Knob unit just by their AP2 attacks, but now just they got butchered.
Soul Grinders, fantastic.
Oh, I mean, I knew I would like them. I didn't take them last time because I wanted to try new units, but they are so good. I mean, they were throwing pie plates around, which are really good, and then this guy over here, he killed his Dakka Jet with his Skyfire.
They are the best Skyfire thing that there has been so far.
Yeah, because they're just so versatile, and they're so hard as well.
Yeah.
These ones are Nurgle ones. I mean, this guy kept hiding behind a ruin. He was on a 2+ cover save. I mean, what's going to shoot an AV-13 4-hull point walker with a 2+ cover save?
Tank Busters did first then.
Oh, right, yeah.
Did a whole point. Well, pinned it, almost destroyed it.
During night fighting.
Yeah. but no,
love them. Brilliant.
Soul Grinders, basically everything in the army. I watched the first video and Fate Weaver. He just couldn't output enough damage. Whereas the Bloodthirster, he was rocking around 10 attacks on average each turn, and they're hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. Almost died to Orks.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled.
Could have died to Overwatch.
I rolled 2 greater gifts, and the first 3 results on the greater gift table give you better survivability. They give you feel no pain, re-rolling vulnerable saves and the like. And I rolled, I think, a 4 and a 5, so he got a ranged attack he didn't really use, and so I traded one in for the Axe of Khorne, which was awesome because it gave him D3 extra attacks. But he wasn't as survivable as I'd liked, and I rolled badly for saves.
Then that's the randomness of which you get with the books. And yes, your saves. You made 1 out of the 5 saves you had to make.
The pink horrors this game I really liked because
pink horrors I like because they can
put out fire.
They can put out a lot of fire. So
and the two heralds this game I'd taken with prescience much better than taking the shooty attacks.
The pink horrors I would like to I would probably take them as a sit on objective thing because as stuff comes towards them, the amount of shots they can put out.
They get shots, but also it's the fact that because you can't see through this ruin.
Well, with that one
of them sticks out the side and fires at will, but the rest can't. But the prescience was really good. It increased my Soul Grinder Skyfire, and when they put out shots, I mean, what did they do? They did 5d6 shots for the unit plus the herald that joined them.
Yeah, so they can put out a hell of a lot. I really like the portal.
Yeah, portal. I'd like to take that every game.
Yeah, wait, you've got it. If you can get it placed and it ends up scattering in a good place and it's hidden, so it can't be shot at.
I think it was aided due to our diagonal deployment this game, because I could then put it right in the corner of the board, which meant you, and because the Orcs don't have much range, it was just there.
Well, the only thing that probably could have done was the Dakka Jet if it come in and could have just shot it. But you got 6 models out of it. They're more than the 30 points that you paid for it. Worth it, especially if it spawning out near an objective. You could end up, last turn spawn 1 model, score an objective.
Yeah, seems really good for 30 points.
Yeah.
The only other couple of things going for demons. Demonic instability was really bad this game. I mean, it killed 15 dudes over there.
Yeah.
And it killed what else? It killed the last 3 screamers. That was pretty bad. 2 screamers.
But there's got to be a downside to every sort of army. And
what did you think of the demonic table, the random roll? It didn't really do much.
I like it. I like it a lot actually, because it adds a different element to obviously both sides, hurting demons and possibly hurting the enemy.
Yeah.
As to say, they've done it well because you're going to generally roll in the middle of the table a lot, and not a lot happens there. It's only if you do roll low or high that I like it.
Okay, what do we think of the Orcs that game? I think my main fault with your army is you didn't have enough troop choices.
No, but as I say, it's experimental. I've taken troop units which I've never tried before, but I really enjoyed the Tank Busters. Obviously, only got to fire a couple of times. I like the Tank Busters. I do like them. They only got to fire a couple of times because of,
they were dangerous, which is what I like about them.
Yeah, but
Gazzy and the Meganobs, we know all about. They're just awesome.
The big mech with the shock attack, I like that. That shock attack.
I liked him. He was really effective this game. Really good, and he's still alive.
Yeah, and his cyborg body, which I gave him, came in use.
Yeah, I think the boys' squad are obviously good, but I just felt the one thing lacking, you needed more boys in your army. Another squad of 20 would have really helped.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I spent a lot on. If I should have taken out possibly the bikers and added more boys through that way.
Yeah, I think possibly if you'd have gone 1 less battle wagon as well, you could have had 2 squads of boys on foot, which would probably have been more effective.
Yeah, but as I say, the Tank Busters, I wanted the manoeuvrability for the Tank Busters.
Yeah, I think your Tank Busters and the shock attack gun definitely future takes again. Really good.
As I say, the 3rd battle wagon was a bit too much, I believe. But as I say, it was.
But the death rollers are so threatening. I mean, I concentrated the first 2 to 3 turns, making sure to kill them because they were so bad for me.
But as I say, it was testing the water for a few new units, and I liked it. As I say, there was just I only had 3 troop choices, and the Gretchen going to die easy anyway.
Yeah, they don't really count when you count. I think you were 1 troop choice short.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was. I mean, the only other thing I was tempted by not the big mech and taking a war boss on a bike that
would have given you the bikers as troops also, wouldn't it?
Yes, but obviously with Meganobs and bikers going in for close combat things, you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, well, I think we'd better call the video short there, because I believe our dinner has been made for us. Look over there. She's making us some dinner. Wave, Leah. You'll be famous on YouTube. Well, not really famous, about 20 people will watch us, but...
Yeah, we get a few views.
Okay, I enjoyed that game.
One other thing which we wanted to plug at the end as well.
Oh, yes.
We've got our Twitter accounts which we've been making.
Yes, we're starting to tweet about...
our
games we're going to play, so you'll know if you want to follow us. Feel free. We tweet about random other stuff as well.
Yeah.
I'll put the addresses at the end of the video. Thanks for the game, Nick. That was much more enjoyable for my demons.
Yeah,
Less so for your orcs, because you didn't even use your second Dakka jet.
It was enjoyable for the orcs. It just, as I say,
you got to kill my blood first during a challenge. That's all you're happy about.
The only thing I wished was the orcs killed it in the Overwatch. That would have been funny.
That would have been.
So,
Okie dokie,
anyway.
we've got to go. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, bye.